It's always good to have a leg up in understanding how women behave and the types of women that are going to be a disaster in your life. That's why I've categorized a type of woman who would be potentially cheating on you. Now, of course, there's no guarantees here, but there's going to be some common themes spread throughout some of these types, and I want you to learn this so you can look out for it. But before we get into it, you still have to know that one of the reasons why a woman is going to cheat on you, not want to be with you, mainly is going to come down to the type of relationship that is happening. So if she's in a relationship with you and you're starting to devolve, you're not carrying your weight in the relationship, you're not as attentive, these things are going to push her away. Now, that does not mean that that is an excuse to cheat, but that is a main cause. Now let's start with the first theme, and this is going to be a woman who has a lifestyle where she's usually being around other people or getting attention from other people. So number one is that jet setter type of woman. The woman who's constantly traveling, maybe it's for work, maybe it's for fun, maybe it's for her social media. She prioritizes travel more than anything in life. Now, that doesn't mean that the jet setter type woman is just going to cheat on you. However, she is tempted. She's around other men. She's around other people. She's secluded. This could absolutely lead to something, especially if the relationship between you and her is not well. Her being away for so long makes her feel disconnected to a home, makes her feel disconnected from a life where things are thriving. The next one may be a little bit more obvious, but I think we're overlooking some of these things these days. The party animal, the one who gets wasted, who gets trashed every single weekend. And sometimes this can be something that sneaks up on you because it's not always the obvious girl who's the drunk animal at the party. Sometimes it's that woman who just still casually drinks throughout the week. She has a lot of drinks. She has a lifestyle around drinking, partying. Maybe her work even sucks her in to a lifestyle where there's a lot of drinking. Drinking leads to unpredictable behavior. It leads to urges that are not normally there when you are sober. So if you have a relationship with a woman and things are on the rocks and she is out drinking with her friends for work, whatever it may be, I would be very wary of what might be going on when she's out around people. We all know ourselves. We tend to do things and are much more risk-taking when we are under the influence of drugs and alcohol. It is a bad combination. Number three, going on with this theme of someone who is around a lot of people, who is getting a lot of validation, getting a lot of attention. Well, it doesn't just have to happen outside the home. It could happen right here in their home. So I'd be very wary of the woman who is the influencer, who's always posting very risque photos, things in bikinis, a thirst trap, a woman who's trying to get that attention from being sexual. You better believe that even the women who are not trying to be thirst traps are still getting tons of DMs from guys. Now, listen, there's a lot of women on Instagram and on social media. I wouldn't be afraid that anyone who has any girlfriend is just they're gonna go out and cheat because they have that. No, but if there is a woman who is using their influence, using their social media to get that kind of male attention, I'd be very wary of what might be going on in those DMs. I'd be wary of how she is reacting to the guys who are treating her and commenting on her stuff. It can be a bad idea, especially if you're in a relationship with this person and things are on the rocks. I just would not be comfortable with who she might be talking to. Again, the disclaimer, maybe none of this matters if everything between you guys is going awesome. Women don't naturally tend to want to be with other men sexually like men might. Now, that's not me saying that men cheat more or women cheat more. I'm just saying that it does take a lot for a woman to actually act on those impulses, believe it or not. Next, now we're going into a new theme, is the woman who is a critical complainer. Always complaining, the grass is always greener, always finding faults in you, your character, what you do. Just a lot of complaining, a lot of drama. I don't trust this type of woman. I don't trust if she is always looking for the next and best thing. I don't trust a woman who is always trying to nag on you and trying to complain to you and trying to get you to do things better constantly, when really at the end of the day, everything you're doing is just fine. Hopefully you're not with her. I mean, really at the end of the day, hopefully you're not with any of these kinds of women. This should just be a lesson in itself that these are not necessarily the best women to date. But this complainer type, this is a woman who is going to try to find something negative. Nothing's ever really going to please her. So she's always going to find something that is bad in her life and bad in the relationship. She's going to start drama. She's going to start fights. She's going to be starting things with you that you are just completely shocked by. Again, this is a woman you should not be with, but I also would not put it to her to actually go out and be with another man during all this commotion. Now, before I get to the next one, I never want you to be in a situation where you end up desperate and having to be with one of these kinds of women because you're not able to get the kinds of women that you actually want. We are doing free calls right now. If you see down below in the description, go to tripadvicecoaching.com, book a call, and we can chat with you about how we can help you. We've gotten guys to the point where they have gotten girlfriends, where they have gotten engaged, gotten married to the kinds of women that they always wanted, and they were able to stay away from these bad types, these red flag type women. Next, let's talk about the secretive phone woman. Now, this is not a type of woman. This is going to be a big sign and a woman that's going to turn into this type of person once there are things going on in the relationship that are not good. So if you ever see a woman who's on her phone more than she usually is, maybe you walk by and she kind of puts her phone away, or she makes sure that you are never facing her and her screen. She's being super secretive and always smiling, giggling, laughing, and just hooked on her phone when normally she'd be doing something else. This is a massive sign that she is talking to someone that is not you, obviously. That's another guy that she really likes. She'll get defensive if you ever bring it up. She'll snap at you if you ever talk about the fact that she's on her phone a lot. Suddenly she needs a lot more privacy. Maybe she goes to the bathroom a lot more. She's going to the room a lot more. Any of these signs that she's attached to her phone is not a good one, and I'd be having a conversation with her right away. Leave a comment down below if you've been with any of these type of women. I want to hear it from you, and I want to hear any more signs that you've seen of a woman who has cheated on you in the past.